So, Namaskaram, Gayatri. How are you?
Namaskar, Vadakkam, Sasriyakal. Today we have a surprise guest, Vinod ji from Strings. And Vinod ji को किसी भी टाइप के इंट्रोडक्शन की जरूरत नहीं है. He has stolen hearts of lot of nationalist people with his videos, with his talks. Akka, Vinod ji,
Yes.
welcome to the alternate media. Anna rather.
Yeah.
Ji.
So, today we're
So
going to discuss some dangerous stuff.
yeah, we have. I mean, भारत में लोगों गद्दारों की कमी थोड़ी ना है और they don't even need to come and fight. So they
Yeah.
send their agents, no, and they hire agents within India.
Horrible agents in the disguise of BJP.
In this guys, in many
Disguise.
disguises. Okay. So on a serious note, Akka, sorry, Anna, you've been doing videos on George Soros, which actually went viral. लोगों
Yeah.
को बहुत पसंद आया आपका प्रेजेंटेशन एंड द वे आपने जिस तरीके से उनको डिफाइन किया बट अभी इंडिया में एक मैडम आई हुई है उनका नाम है प्रोफेसर विक्टोरिया नूलैंड
Nuland.
जी ये
Yeah.
प्रोफेसर विक्टोरिया नूलैंड बहुत ही क्या बोले डेंजरस बोलूं मजेदार बोलूं एंड वेरी असर्टिव बोलूं एंड शॉर्ट ऑफ एडजेक्टिव्स बट हाँ
Yes.
काफी पावरफुल है आई थिंक अगर बिहाइंड द सीन्स की बात करें यू नो
Yeah.
बैक कर्टन्स में वन ऑफ द मोस्ट पावरफुल वुमेन इन द वर्ल्ड
Yes. She's a diplomat, and the other side, the positive side that a lot of people think and don't know is she's known as serving Biden as a undersecretary of state for political affairs, and she's a diplomat. But what people don't know is she is the architect of the Euromaidan protest in Ukraine in 2013.
जी अन्ना थोड़ा सा हिंदी अपने हिंदी लोगों को भी सुनाना होता है
If I speak Hindi, then people will forget their Hindi. My Hindi is very
कोई
poor.
बात नहीं चलेगा ना मिक्स मिक्स करके चलेगा आजकल किसी की भी हिंदी प्योर नहीं है
I actually can't speak even one line completely. Only non ko pakadna mushkil hai. Mumting hi nahi kind of.
चलेगा ना चलेगा जस्ट गो ऑन बस थोड़ा सा मिक्स कर लेना जिससे थोड़ा समझ में आ जाए
I have no practice in Hindi. Akka. They're very
ओके
poor. Tamil and Telugu means I can manage, but Hindi is like बहुत कम बात करता हूँ मैं. Sentence matlab it's like very difficult. Okay, coming back to this Victoria Nuland, this lady is such a dangerous lady. She's involved. People don't know how the Ukrainian protests broke out, and let me tell you a few points about her plan, what she worked out there. See, the protests were sparkled by the Ukrainian government's sudden decision not to sign the European Ukraine Association Agreement, instead choosing closer ties with Russia to Russia. This was not acceptable to the CIA. Hope the guys know about CIA. In February 2014, what happened? The deadly clashes between the protesters and the security forces in the Ukraine, the capital city of Kiev, culminated in ousting the president, Viktor Yanukovych, the overthrow of the Ukrainian government itself. Immediately, what happened? Biden took a chance and then had a pro-US president there. The Hunter Biden, the son of current US president, landed in Ukraine and snapped up businesses, become partners in them. So they were the businessmen connected to Victoria Nuland and the Democratic Party in US. So now the horrible thing is, what is this Nuland doing in India? The same Nuland is in India trying to tell us back the US government against Russia. And while in India, she met so many anti-CA agents. She spent a lot of time with the Supreme Court lawyer Karuna Nandi. For what? Because Karuna is the person who is well known for saying triple talaq is a freedom of choice. These are the supporters. If a Hindu man can tell his wife, I want to divorce you, then a Muslim man can have a right to say triple talaq. This is like rubbish. Triple talaq literally ends in a divorce as per Muslim personal law. And she's been against CAA. She supported Punjab in farmers' protests. Nuland meetings as people akin to meeting anti-Viktor Yanukovych people before Euromaidan. So she is meeting the influencers who are against PM Modi. She's pressurizing PM Modi. This is an important point to be noted. And she is an anti-CA. She's against the CA protests, and she has given an interview to Nidhi Rajan. You can understand by this. So why Victoria Nuland is visiting India? That such a dangerous person is in India, especially in Tamil Nadu. You can ask me why there is so much focus on Tamil Nadu. What people don't know is Tamil Nadu is a state which is rich in thorium, the radioactive metal which is used for nuclear power. This and all, these schemes, people are not aware of this things.
Trying to pressurize Modi. She's
Yeah.
meeting all the anti-Modi people instead
Yes.
of meeting Modi first, because on when she visited,
Yeah.
note the timings of her meetings. She
Yes.
met the opposition and everything, and just for that official purposes, she's seen
Yeah.
with the foreign minister. What is
Yeah.
her connection to George Soros?
This I need to explore a bit. See, we heard this news in the past that China declared George Soros the international villain. They even went up to the extent of saying he's a global terrorist, and he's the man who has set up businesses in India. I mean, all the leftist ecosystem, if you look at it, the funding indirectly is coming from George Soros. We have exposed in there are a couple of videos like Meena Harris and money trials and whatever we have done in string, which gives a direct connection to George Soros's funding agencies, the Open Society Foundation, also. And of course, when this big game is being played in the world war affairs, how do you expect Newland and George Soros are not connected? And of course, they are connected. Need to explore the roots though. Uh, so that's how it is.
Okay. But their connection can be are very simple and overt. Maybe not. We don't need, see, in a world
Yeah.
like this, macro connections or macro views, which which leads to drawing conclusions.
Yeah.
Democratic Party, Biden, George
Yes.
Soros, CIA, and then Professor Victoria Nuland. Do we need any other more evidences to understand? Uh,
Yeah.
Anna, she's also been related to a lot of covert operations and even the ones in Egypt.
Yeah.
The Egypt revolution, the Orange Revolution, I've heard she's the one who
Yes.
actually led to, how it was dismantled. The entire democracy was dismantled in these
Yes.
countries
True.
using dark web and CIA assets, and Victoria Nuland was the brain behind it.
Correct. See, these people are. I mean, if you look at the Ukraine protests that broke out, see, the previous government, when Viktor Yanukovych was there, the local peoples, when they divided into 30 and 70, the pro-Russian and pro-Ukraine, pro-Ukraine parties, and the pro-Ukraine parties are the people who are appeasing to European Union, UK, and all this stuff. This is a line of difference that people like Victoria Nuland encashes. This is the line they identify to create rights. For example, how the George Soros identified the Black Lives Matter and created blacks versus whites there. In any country for that matter, in India, he identifies Hindu versus Muslim as the heat, and then he goes against it. This is how Victoria Nuland identifies things in every other area, like for that matter, Egypt and Lebanon, and all this now in Ukraine, like this. So, for Indians, the most important thing to be understood is without the knowledge of, the mainstream media, without local people being aware, a lot of horrible things are being done, especially the thorium. And we have posted a video with title Nukes. The future war is going to be nuclear war, and this is what it's all about. That is the background works are already started for snatching the thorium resources in India.
Anna, there is one more angle.
Hmm.
Russia declaring George Soros as terrorist is understood because Russia has always been against George Soros right from the beginning, since the
Yeah.
time George Soros tries to dismantle, remove Putin by his means and ways.
Putin is
But
very strong. Putin
very
is,
smart,
yeah,
very smart. But China declaring George Soros as terrorist, something which is not digestible.
yeah.
No, China and George Soros have been in hand in gloves type of a situation.
But China is a peculiar country. See, it has no issues with blocking Google and all the mainstream network. It can go up to any extent because communist governments, you can't take the connections for granted. You have no idea what they will do tomorrow.
Yes, you're right. Before we wind up, Anna, would you
Yeah.
like to add anything?
Just keep this as an alarm to the people that we don't know what kind of narrative they're going to build up in the coming days. And Papu and DMK speaking Union of States model, uh, meeting all these PIL activists, secret meetings with Tamil Nadu state leaders. Please be aware. The mainstream media will never tell you all these things. I don't know whether they will investigate and gather all these things like the way we do. And there are like these things needs much more investigation before revealing. Uh, there is a plane which this Munjal group for Swamy private jet and all. We will do a lot of investigation and maybe I'll do a separate video on that. There are a lot of things happening around the thorium in Tamil Nadu. I request people to be aware and bring about all this to everybody's notice.
Ji, Anna. Nana, because you spoke of Union of India by Rahul Gandhi, he's trying to talk of Union of India. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
he's focusing on union. He has
Yes.
forgotten the preamble. Actually, somebody needs to sit and teach him and tutor him properly what the preamble says. Actually,
Yes.
uh, visit of Victoria Nuland
Yeah.
right to Tamil Nadu before coming to Delhi. The first
Mm.
visit of Tamil Nadu
Yes.
is a red alarm, I guess. Especially
Exactly.
Rahul Gandhi
Yeah.
sounding the bell of Union of India.
Exactly. So please be alarmed. So this discussion is all about please be alarmed. You will not get informed by the mainstream media about all these things.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Anna, for coming, and we'll keep in touch for yet another interesting topic. Jai
Sure.
Hind, Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Thank you so much. Namaskar.